It's 1952. Families are gathering around breakfast tables in their brand-new suburban homes. And into this scene walks Tony the tiger. He tells kids everywhere that his cereal gives them strength, energy, and will make them great. Fast forward 70+ years. Tony is still here, still promising the same thing. But, oh, there's something that Tony isn't telling you. That box of Frosted Flakes sitting in your pantry right now contains ingredients that weren't even invented when he first showed up. Ingredients your grandparents never ate. Ingredients that scientists are now linking to serious health problems. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you're pouring into your bowl every morning. Why one preservative in Frosted Flakes has parents and doctors seriously worried. How sugar is literally programming your kids' brains, and what you should be buying instead that actually nourishes your body. Let's expose what's really in that iconic blue box. When Kellogg's launched Sugar Frosted Flakes in 1952, they had competition. 3 other mascots were competing for the job: Katie the kangaroo, Elmo the elephant, and Newt the gnu. But Tony won, not because the cereal was healthier or better. Tony won because kids loved him. And when kids love something, parents buy it. The genius of Tony the tiger was the association. Eat this cereal, become strong like a tiger. Eat this cereal, have energy for sports. Eat this cereal, be great. This marketing worked so well that Frosted Flakes became one of America's top-selling cereals. Today, it brings in hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. But notice what happened over time. The cereal was originally called Sugar Frosted Flakes. Then they quietly dropped the word sugar. Just Frosted Flakes now. Why? Because by the 1980s and 90s, people started questioning whether feeding kids cereal coated in sugar for breakfast was actually a good idea. So they changed the name, but they didn't change the formula. Every single cup of Frosted Flakes still contains 12 grams of sugar. That's 3 teaspoons for breakfast. Let's read what's actually in Frosted Flakes. The label says milled corn, sugar, malt flavor, contains 2% or less of salt. Then come the added vitamins and minerals: iron, ferric phosphate, niacinamide, vitamin B6, vitamin B2, vitamin B1, folic acid, vitamin D3, and vitamin B12. Sounds simple, right? Just corn, sugar, and some vitamins. But let's dig deeper into what these actually are. Milled corn. The corn used isn't organic. It's conventional corn, which means it's likely genetically modified and grown with pesticides. The label even says, contains a bioengineered food ingredient. That's corporate speak for GMO. And studies show that genetically modified crops contain higher levels of pesticide residues than organic crops. You're eating trace amounts of chemicals designed to kill insects. Sugar. We already mentioned there are 3 teaspoons per serving. But here's what they don't tell you on the box. New research from the National Institutes of Health found that kids exposed to high sugar in their first 2 years of life had 35% higher diabetes risk and 20% higher blood pressure risk as adults. But sugar also literally changes how their bodies process food for the rest of their lives. When kids eat sugar for breakfast, their blood sugar spikes. Then it crashes. This roller coaster affects their mood, their ability to focus in school, and sets them up for cravings all day long. And it gets worse. Sugar activates the same reward centers in the brain as addictive drugs. Kids who start eating high-sugar foods young develop preferences and cravings that last into adulthood. In simpler words, you're programming your kids' taste buds. This is the ingredient nobody talks about. And it's the one you should be most concerned about. BHT is a synthetic chemical preservative. It's what keeps Frosted Flakes fresh for months. Sitting on a shelf, the European Union classifies BHT as a suspected endocrine disruptor. That means it messes with your hormones. And that's just the beginning. Animal studies link BHT to liver damage, kidney damage, and lung tumors. And it even has been shown to disrupt the immune system by interfering with white blood cells. Some major food companies, like General Mills, started removing BHT from their cereals years ago because of growing health concerns. But Kellogg's? Still using it in Frosted Flakes. Now, you might be thinking that because it says it's a good source of vitamins and minerals, then it should be good enough to ignore everything else. Well, I've got news for you. Those vitamins are synthetic. They're made in labs and sprayed onto the cereal. Kellogg's starts with nutritionally empty corn and sugar, strips away any natural nutrients during processing, then adds back synthetic vitamins so they can claim it's nutritious. It's like taking a pile of candy, sprinkling some vitamin powder on it, and calling it health food. Real nutrition comes from whole foods, not from chemicals sprayed onto processed corn. If you're still not sure how bad this option actually is, let me break down what really happens when a kid eats Frosted Flakes for breakfast. Within the first half hour after eating Frosted Flakes, your kid's blood sugar shoots up fast. That bowl hits them with about 12 grams of sugar all at once, so their body responds by dumping insulin into the bloodstream to bring things back under control. For a short moment, energy goes up. They might seem more alert, more active. That quick burst is exactly what the marketing wants you to link with ideas like strength and a great start to the day. But it doesn't last. Not long after, usually somewhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours, blood sugar drops, just as quickly as it rose. That's when the crash shows up. Mood swings, irritability, trouble paying, attention, low energy, and hunger all come rushing back. So instead of feeling ready to learn, your kid is sitting in class feeling tired, unfocused, and already thinking about their next snack. Not exactly the outcome the commercials promise. When this kind of breakfast becomes a routine, the effects don't stop in the morning. Over months and years, high-sugar breakfasts are linked to higher rates of childhood obesity. Right now, about 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. is obese. Type 2 diabetes, which used to be called adult-onset diabetes, is now showing up in children, affecting tens of thousands of them. But sugar doesn't just mess with blood sugar or weight. It feeds the bacteria in your child's mouth, which produce acid that slowly eats away at tooth enamel. Pediatric dentists have been reporting higher rates of tooth decay as sugar consumption has gone up. Frosted Flakes make this worse because that sugary coating sticks to teeth and dissolves slowly. So even after the bowl is empty, sugar is still sitting on your kid's teeth, quietly doing damage. So if BHT is potentially harmful, and the sugar content is clearly too high, why doesn't Kellogg's change it? Oh, you know the answer. Money. Frosted Flakes generates hundreds of millions in revenue. It's one of their flagship products. Changing the formula would mean shorter shelf life without BHT, different taste with less sugar, and risk of losing customers who are addicted to the current flavor. Companies know that when they reduce sugar, people complain. And not because reduced sugar versions taste bad, but because our brains are literally addicted to the current levels. Kellogg's has done the math. They've determined that keeping loyal customers is worth more than attracting health-conscious parents. The food industry spends millions lobbying to keep regulations weak. The FDA allows BHT because it's generally recognized as safe or gross. But this designation came from tests done decades ago before we understood the long-term effects of synthetic additives. And when European countries started banning or restricting certain additives, American companies just made different formulas for overseas markets while continuing to sell the old versions to American families. Because in America, it's legal, but there is good news. You have better options. Kashi Organic Autumn Wheat Cereal, for example. This cereal is available at Target, Whole Foods, most major grocery stores. Just click the link below to buy now. But what makes it different? The ingredients: whole grain wheat, organic, cane sugar, organic, natural flavor, also organic. That's it. 3 ingredients, all organic. No BHT, no GMOs, no synthetic chemicals. Instead, it gives you 7 grams of protein per serving. Frosted Flakes has only 2 grams. 7 grams of fiber per serving. Frosted Flakes has only 1 gram. 7 grams of sugar. Frosted Flakes has 12 grams. It is the best option because the sugar is organic cane sugar, not refined white sugar. While it's still sugar, organic cane sugar is less processed and doesn't contain the same chemical residues. The whole grain wheat provides fiber that slows down sugar absorption. This means no blood sugar spike and crash. Your kid stays full longer and maintains steady energy. The protein helps build muscle and keeps them satisfied. It's non-GMO project verified, which means no pesticide-laden genetically modified corn. And it's vegan, so no animal products that might have antibiotics or hormones. Taste-wise, well, kids actually like it. The biscuits are crunchy and lightly sweet.
They are not as candy sweet as Frosted Flakes.
But that's the point.
When kids get used to real food that's not overloaded with sugar, their taste buds adjust. After a few weeks, they'll find Frosted Flakes too sweet. Tony the Tiger has been telling us Frosted Flakes are great for over 70 years.
But here's what's actually in that box: genetically modified corn grown with pesticides.
3 teaspoons of sugar per serving that programs kids' brains
and sets them up for diabetes and obesity. BHT, a synthetic preservative, linked to liver damage, hormone disruption, and cancer in animals.
Synthetic vitamins sprayed on to make processed junk look nutritious.
And it's all perfectly legal. Your kids aren't getting strength from Frosted Flakes. They're getting a sugar high followed by a crash, empty calories with almost no nutrition, and exposure to chemicals that might be harming them in ways we won't fully understand for years. Share this video with another parent who needs to know. Talk about what you've learned and start questioning what you're really feeding your family. One small step you can take today. Next time you're at the store, skip the Frosted Flakes aisle and head to the organic section. Pick up a box of Kashi Autumn Wheat.
Let your kids try real food for a change. If you want more healthy food swaps, check out my Food Swap ebook, link in the description. It's packed with recipes with given ingredients and macros.
Hit like if this opened your eyes. Subscribe for more food exposes.
And comment below, were you surprised by what's in Frosted Flakes?
What food should I investigate next? Let's stay curious and keep our families healthy.